everyone, and welcome to my early freak show. I appreciate everybody who is actually here early today. Usually we do these live streams about 8 o'clock on Saturdays. However, my awesome daughter has her spring show today, so I will not be here tonight. So we're going to get into AHS right now. And of course, as usual, my regular co-host Cookie says hello. He loves everybody. He says hi. Something just fell behind me. I don't know what it was, but that's my dad again. My dad's been kind of being a little silly lately, kind of throwing things around the house. So my dad passed away almost 3 years ago. So his ghost, I guess, is just having a little fun messing with me. AHS Horror News Official, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And also, thank you to Lizzie and everybody online who promoted AHS Mortuary. I really appreciate it. I am working so hard to get the episodes complete. Well, the rest of the episodes complete, so that way I can submit them to. Bless you, baby. So I can submit them. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize my camera or my microphone was all the way over there. My bad. Oh, thank you so much, Lizzie. You were awesome. Thank you so much. Yes. I am really excited to complete those. Basically, the outlines are done. I just need to finish writing the actual dialogue and actions. And that's what I've been doing. So, Blaze, so glad to have you. Thank you very much for being here. Okay, so what I thought we would do for today is that I know a lot of you out there have said that you would definitely read the episode 1 and 2 for me. So if you guys, which I appreciate it very much, I need your help. I need you to let me know what you thought about it. I know, Cooks, go lay down, baby. Go lay down. Good boy. Just email me at marygirlmoody@gmail.com and let me know that you want to read it, and I will just send you the PDF. And then again, just let me know what you thought about it. Full disclosure though, I do want to say that if it's going to take you a couple of months or something like that, please don't offer to read it, because this is something that is going to move a little fast. So if you just don't have the time, don't worry about it. We can do something about that later when you do have time. So episode 1 is titled Ashes to Echoes, and we begin in Mourning, Vale, North Carolina, which is a scenic little town where the flowers bloom and the caskets pile up and every single neighbor has a secret. And the story begins in 1967 when Mary Raynard, a teenage cheerleader with a love of gossip, witnesses Lily and Tom Hart, Mourning Vale's perfect mortician siblings, that's a little tongue twister, engaged in something far darker than sibling bonding. But before Mary can expose the truth about it, she vanishes in the woods. And what hunts her there isn't really human. And what happens to her leaves a stain on Mourningville that basically still lingers 14 years later. And now it's 1981, and it's the day before Halloween, and the death of Carl Bowen seemed like just another sad day in the town built on funerals. Carl's widow, Maya, and her daughter, Paula, are trying to hold it together as Lily and Tom Hart orchestrate the funeral and his final farewell. But the service takes a chilling turn when the mourners find an unclaimed wooden casket near Carl's grave, which is a signature left by the town's whispered serial killer, the Casket Man. And here we're introduced to a lineup of Mourningville's most complicated residents that you're going to see a lot of, which is Maya Bowen. I'm going to have her played by Angela Bassett. She is a fragile widow on the verge of literally breaking. Her daughter, Paula, who I hope is going to be played by Kiki Palmer, is a sharp-tongued daughter who is definitely not afraid to push back and doesn't really believe in mourning. It's like when people die, you got to move on. Marcus is Maya's distant son, so we don't really see very much of him, but he's very more eager of Maya to stay in Mourningvale and not come live anywhere near him. Then we have Nedra, who's going to be played by Whoopi Goldberg. She is Maya's sister-in-law, Carl's sister, and a self-proclaimed psychic, and you'll definitely see a lot more of her in after episode 6. Aaron Worthington is going to be played by Bruce Campbell. He is the grumpy grocery store owner with a shattered heart over his estranged daughter, Alma. We have Larice Carter, who's going to be played by MJ Rodriguez. She's a struggling single mom to raise her 3 boys, Jamal, Trey, and Tim, in a town that definitely feels cursed. We have Michael Kramer, who is going to be played by Finn Whitrock. He is Mary Raynard's former boyfriend that we saw from the beginning. He's a man with a secret obsession to uncover what really happened to Mary. Now, lurking in the background is Frank Winters. He's a very quiet, watchful handyman, very emotional, who seems to always be nearby, like especially when Paula is alone. And Detective Mark Whalen, who will be played by Cheyenne Jackson, and his partner Bill Langley, which is Macaulay Culkin, begin quietly monitoring the casket discoveries, realizing that something is brewing beneath the town's peaceful exterior. And meanwhile, Captain Sally Kennedy, who is going to be Billy Lord, watches over the town with one of her good friends, Officer Nancy Crane, who will be Leslie Grossman, the town that they have vowed to protect. But even they are beginning to doubt whether the killer is a man or entirely something else. And just when you think the episode is like winding down, at the end of the episode, a group of 6 local teenagers takes a boat onto Lake Mourning Vale for a weekend of partying. Now, it should have been like a perfect night. It was their last night on the lake that weekend as high school seniors. It was the night before Halloween, so they were just going to have the perfect night of music, drinks, and no adult supervision. But under the cover of darkness, something attacks the boat, leaving nothing but blood, broken lights, and silence. The teens are never seen again, except one. She will come back. And the boat drifts back to shore, damaged, bloody, and empty. And with that, Mourning Vale's true nightmare begins. Okay, now let's talk about episode 2 real fast, The Rage Beneath. I am going through this a little quickly because I have a few errands to run before I go to my daughter's spring show tonight, which is in less than 2 hours. So this live stream will not be as long. However, I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say.
Motion detected at front door.
And someone's at the front door. The episode number 2 is titled The Rage Beneath. And if Mourning Vale was holding its breath before, it's starting to officially suffocate now. And we open with the haunting backstory of Detective Mark Whalen. And remember, that is Cheyenne Jackson. In 1941, Mark was just 5 years old when he was lured into a truck by a predator posing as a friendly stranger. And what followed was 7 long years of captivity deep in the Black Mountains. The man stripped Mark of his identity, forcing Mark to call him dad, and convincing him that his real family had abandoned him. But the nightmare didn't end there because Mark was forced to do things by his captor, things that I'm obviously not going to show, but we're going to know it's going to happen. And when it's now 7 years later, and the man has abducted a new boy, little Jimmy Black, and Mark has decided he's going to risk everything to escape his captor and save this little boy. His return made headlines to the town of Mourning Vale. It painted Mark as the local hero. But the truth is that Mark never fully came back. Something broke inside of him, and something is very dark and locked away, as well as his brother, Terry, who will be played by Matthew McConaughey. Terry spends, ever since Mark came back, Terry spends a lot of time in the woods and in the mountain, and he very much isolates himself and spends very much time away from people. And that obviously will come into play later. Now, we're back to 1981, and Mark stands on the shore of Lake Mourning Vale, staring at the bloody abandoned boat that was found at the end of episode 1, and partnered with the sarcastic yet loyal Bill Langley. They both start investigating the wreckage, the blood, the damage, the massive puncture in the hull. None of it really makes sense because there's just small fish in that lake. It's been there for at least 100 years. So there's nothing in that lake. It's impossible. And there's no bodies, no signs of escape. And the violence almost seems inhuman.
And while Mark and Bill are trying to track down the boat's owner, Harvey Pruitt, and the missing teens, including Harvey's son Cole and his 5 friends, of course, they're still unaccounted for, the entire community begins to panic because, of course, bad news travels fast. Now, meanwhile, at the Carter household, Jamal, who he disappeared for many hours in episode 1, and we obviously see that in episode 1, him and his little brother snuck out, go to the cemetery, and Jamal sees something that he was not supposed to in the cemetery. His younger brothers, Trey and Tim, they didn't see what Jamal did, but they try to understand what happened to their big brother. Jamal is distant, shaking, bleeding from the nose, and seems convinced that someone saw him, someone that he knows. And the boy's mother, Larice, is already stressed to the breaking point, struggling to keep her family grounded as Jamal isolates himself, whispering about things that aren't real. He's missing school. And the backstory behind Larice is that her husband is abusive and he beat her constantly and also did the same to the kids. But when her husband decided, you know what? Or I guess I think I had it that he was cheating on her and decided he was going to leave her for his mistress. Larice was like, yeah, go beat her. Just leave us. So she was fine with it. So she's doing things on her own. However, she does live under that threat of her husband still, that at any time he can come take the boys and take them away from her. And then, of course, the boys will be beaten and things like that. So she's really a very stressed, hardworking mother, and she's a really good mother too. Now, at the Mourning Vale police station, Sally Kennedy and Nancy Crane are diving into the growing stack of the Casket Man victim files. And through their investigation, they discover a disturbing pattern that every single victim was a night jogger, someone with a public routine easy to track. And Sally realizes that the killer is studying them, learning their habits before making his move. And they search through cold case files, and that unearths a name that Sally never forgot. Mary Raynard, her best friend, the girl who vanished back in 1967. The case was sealed and forgotten because they never found Mary. But now Nancy steals the file, determined to help Sally finally get the answers that she's been chasing for over a decade. Now, across town, Aaron Worthington, Mourning Vale's gruff store owner, opens up his deepest wound in a voiceover. He's writing in his journal, and we learn that Aaron has spent the past 10 years secretly watching his daughter Alma from a distance. He can't afford, his wife basically left him, and since he has no money and can't afford to pay alimony and the child support, she will not let him even speak or see his daughter Alma. So he's been secretly watching her for 10 years from a distance. He keeps a journal of unsent letters documenting every moment he spends sitting in his truck outside her home in Charlotte, never daring to approach her as to piss off her mom. It's very gut-wrenching and raw, and the full pain of a father who lost everything. Now, as Halloween night approaches, Paula tries to push her mother, Maya, into planning for life after Carl. But this is just the day after his funeral, and Maya is refusing to move on. This woman is devastated. Enter Frank Winters, who shows up again. This time, he is there to fix something for the house, like he always did. And he's pressing deeper into Maya and Paula's fragile world. Paula senses that something isn't off about him, but she just really doesn't like him very much. And back at the Mourning Vale Mortuary, Lily and Tom Hart are dealing with a terrifying new problem. Their engine, or whatever I'm going to make you believe it is leaking. And to try to soothe Lily, Tom is promising that they'll be able to leave Mourning Vale soon. But the tension between them hints at a secret far bigger than the town could ever imagine. And the episode closes with Detective Mark Whalen and Bill Langley questioning Harvey Pruitt, breaking the news that his son and 5 friends are missing. Mark promises that he won't stop until they're found, but when he turns to walk away, we see it in his eyes, and that he knows the town. He knows that this town is basically about to get far worse before it gets any better. And the episode basically ends with the monster that was in the lake that took the 5 teens, because one's still alive, of coming out of the lake and starting to head towards the town. So that is episode 1 and episode 2. So episode 1 takes place on the day before Halloween, 1981. Episode 2 is Halloween Day, 1981. And episode 3 is Halloween Night, 1981. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of AHS Mortuary so far? I mean, do you have theories? Or is there any favorite characters maybe that you think you might have? Any storylines particularly that grabbed you? Maybe anything confusing or something that maybe needs work, maybe you're not sure of. I know, I wonder if I totally can't believe I forgot the name, but one of my viewers suggested to change Sally's name, Sally Kennedy's name, that's Billy Lord is playing, to another name due to Sally from Hotel. And I honestly, that was my first genuine thought when I came up with the character. But as a lot of you know, my process of creating these characters is actually putting myself into the shoes of the character, thinking how they think, maybe speaking how they speak, and just really immersing myself in it. And they tell me, that character will tell me a lot about themselves, what they don't like, what they do like, how they would feel, how they would think, how they would react, how they would speak. And they also sometimes will tell me their names. So I know it, like I said, it sounds silly, but when you really do immerse yourself in these people that you're really, truly trying to bring to life, and in your mind, you are bringing them to life, they do certainly take on a life of their own pretty quickly. And so again, I know that can be confusing, but a lot of you writers out there certainly know what it takes for good character development. And your feedback absolutely matters more than you'd ever know. And I'd love to feature your thoughts, your comments in future live streams or script updates, things like that. And if you want to share your feedback, you can obviously do it in 2 ways. You can drop your thoughts in the comments after the video processes, or even if you want to now, that's fine. Or you can obviously email me anytime at marygirlmoody@gmail.com with your let me know you want to read the script. I'll send you the PDFs and then you can read them and get back to me with your honest feedback, questions, ideas, things like that, because nothing is too big or small. Whether you're here for the scares, the drama, the twists, or the characters, I want to know what's landing and I want to know what's missing the mark. Because again, guys, this season is for us. Yeah, this is the season that I'm coming up with that I want to see. Absolutely. But I know for a fact that there's a lot of elements that we all want as well. So it is absolutely driven by fans. I'm definitely a super fan. I don't know if I really like that label, but I think that's probably pretty accurate for me. I'm a pretty big fan of American Horror Story. I've never written a script for a show like this, and it's awesome. I have basically episode 3 and 4 done. I just need to make sure that everything is fit and consecutive. And like I said, episode 5 and 6, or 3 and 4, 5 and 6 are done. And then the outlines for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 are done. I just actually need to plug in the dialogue. So I know what's going to happen, which episode, where everything plugs in, all of the emotions, all of the twists. So, like I said, it's not like I'm going into this blind and like I have no idea how this season will end. I have no idea how the season will end for Lily and Tom. That's the only thing I don't know. I don't know how it's going to end for them. So, but everybody else, I know exactly how their story ends, and it's pretty exciting. And I'm really excited to copyright it and to solicit Ryan Murphy Productions. So you are all so sweet. Everybody who has been so supportive and kind regarding this, I really genuinely appreciate it. Because again, this is not just for me too, it's also for you. We want a good season back of American Horror Story. And the poor show and writers, I don't know, maybe they're just so overworked, or maybe they're just a little out of touch with what fans want. I'm not in their shoes, so I'm not going to presume to know what's going on or why the show has taken such a little downward spiral. I mean, let's face it, double feature was in good spots good. Red Tide and double feature were kind of trash. NYC was good, but the message was wrong. And Delicate was just from a book. They couldn't even do their own American Horror Stories anymore. So it really makes me think that they need help And maybe, just maybe, they should actually look to some super fans that are writers, love the show, know the formula, and that can maybe put them back on the map. Now, right now, as far as information for season 13, there isn't anything. Ryan Murphy, actually, I believe there was an interview that came out a few days ago that there's no news for season 13. And actually, I believe the show is on hiatus. But Ryan confirmed that it's always open to return. FX said the same thing. They're just waiting for a good idea. Guess who has two? Okay. Oh, thank you, Cooksy. Oh, could you go lay down for me, honey? I know. I'll see you in just a minute. Go lay down for me. Go lay down in your bed. Go get in your bed. Go get in your bed, sweetie. Good boy. So if all they're looking for is just a good idea, who has two thumbs and a great idea? This gal. So I do apologize. I know I haven't done trivia, and I know that we didn't get a chance to do the rest of watching the horror trailers on Discord. So I know there's some things that I haven't had the chance to do, but I apologize. I really started my goal of to finish AHS Mortuary at the end of May is still good to go. So so I have, goals obviously to make daily for what I want to have happen in order to reach that. And as far as I know, let's see, today's the 10th. So I literally have 24 days to make that happen. And that's fine. 3 weeks. I'm losing my mind. I'm so sorry. It's been 21 days. Losing my mind. So I don't have very long to finish that. And as a lot of you know out there, you can't just write something like that. So thankfully, I've done all the hard work with the characters, the research, the American Horror Story that I want to incorporate, all of that stuff. So I really put so much work into this that so much of it is done that even 21 days seems like, really? You think you can finish an entire season of American Horror Story in 21 days? Yeah, because literally all the hard work is done. The character developments, the outline, where the twists happen, what the twists are, the characters that are included. The only thing that I just need to do is that when everything is said and done and all 13 episodes are done and written, I need to go back and look at it and actually look at it from there and think, okay, maybe I need to take this out. There needs to be more drama there. Obviously things like that. So it's not going to be fully done, but all 13 episodes will be done by the last day in May. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm going to have it all done and ready for you guys. So let's take a few comments. Let's see what you guys think. Your early love, I wasn't expecting you till 8. I know. Like I said, my daughter has a spring show and I'm not going to be back until maybe about 10 o'clock tonight. And I didn't want to live stream at 11 because my daughter made me promise her that tonight we're going to watch Golden Girls, obviously, and play Golden Girls Monopoly. So I cannot officially interfere in that. Blaze says, OMG, poor Mark. Yes, I know. So Mark Whalen is the Steven Stainer of the American Horror Story in this season. And his brother Terry is the Carrie Stainer in this season. So why did that one teen... Okay, so with the one teen survivor, Jess... I'm so sorry. Texas weather has been crazy lately. I'm a little croupy. Jess got... Okay, so when Danny was pulled over on the boat, everybody was kind of panicking. And Cole was like, okay, look, something weird is going on. Something bumped the boat. They felt like something was in the water. And Cole was like, fuck this, we're leaving. And Jess was like, no, we're not leaving Cole. Or we're not leaving Danny. So when Cole started at the boat and was going to start leaving, Jess dived into the water. So when she dived in, that is when the mermaid... I did this for you guys. I'm actually hoping that this isn't too much, but I had to put a siren in here somewhere. And I did it here for the Halloween episode for you guys. So when Jess jumps into the water, the siren attacks the boat and kills everybody. So Jess kind of, she survives because she kind of sees it. She's in the water looking for Danny. By the time she gets up to the surface again and notices what's going on, a lot of people are being taken off the boat and being eaten by the siren. So Jess saves herself and spends a long time basically just treading and getting back to the shore of the lake. And so it's going to obviously take her a while. She gets back that night and she starts walking through the woods, falls, collapses. We'll find more about what happens to Jess and what she tells everybody in episode 3 because she's going to be found by Mark. So yeah, I know. I even want to tell you guys the synopsis basically for every single episode. But since they're not totally fleshed out yet, I just want to make sure I'm not getting too far ahead of myself, jumping the shark here or the mermaid, so to speak. So yeah, that one teen did survive because she was in the water while her other friends were getting eaten and dragged off the boat by a siren. So thank you so much, Lizzie. Casket Man has an iconic design. I know. What I have so far is that the Casket Man puts people together, dresses them up very nice, puts them in a handmade casket, etches their name on it with the year they were born and the day that they died, and then puts them in the cemetery. Doesn't bury them, but he puts them there. So that is, yeah. If the people, the writers of AHS want to change any of this, that's absolutely fine, as long as they stick to the main plots and storylines. So yeah. Okay, so Lizzie says writing an AHS script based on my book, The Grimm Chapters double feature. I want to see. May I read that? Where do I find that? Amazon or where? Let me know. Let me know. Because I would love to read that. Blaze says, I would rather wait and have a really good season rather than rushed and a bad season. Exactly. 100% completely agree about that. And guys, if you are enjoying the live stream and if you are enjoying things on the channel here, don't forget to give it a like. I greatly appreciate it. It will definitely help Amazon love and improve my algorithm, or Amazon. What am I talking about? It will absolutely show YouTube that my algorithm is improving and a happy algorithm. So thank you all so much. If you want to take it another step further and support the channel, you can click subscribe. You can also take it another step further and help financially support the channel by becoming a channel member, a patron, leave super stickers, thank yous, all that stuff like that. It's up to you. I really appreciate everything that you guys do, again, to support the channel. Regardless, even just a kind word is worth $1 million. So White Bear says it's looking good so far. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I am going to also be recording this week for a AHS channel. That part's going to be included in, I don't know if it's a podcast or not. I don't remember. Yesterday was my daughter's dress rehearsal. So I was literally running the whole day yesterday, making sure that she had everything and getting her food and snackies, and just, it was so crazy. So I don't really exactly remember what the message said, but yes, I was like, oh, hell yeah, let's do this. So, okay. Thank you, Lizzie. It's available on Amazon. I will absolutely go check that out. So my season is absolutely a big mixture of great character development and a lot of so many insane, crazy happenings. A lot of us can generally say that Asylum is our favorite season. For me, it's a mix between Hotel and 1984. I really love those two seasons. Matt, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. So I absolutely love those two seasons, but the general consensus of American Horror Story fans is that their favorite season is Asylum. And why is it Asylum? Because number one, it's so dark. It's so great with so many different characters and plot lines. Aside from Bloody Face, there was Dr. Arden, and there was just so much extra in there with Kit and the aliens, and it was just Dr. Thredson and the past and the present and Lana in the future. It was just so good. And it was also made with characters that didn't just survive the asylum, they survived the season. And we love them for that. So yeah, Asylum is so powerful for many reasons. And again, I just took that formula and applied it to my season because I know what I like and what I want, but that's not necessarily what everybody likes. And though I may cherish Hotel and 1984, the consensus of fans is that they love Asylum. So I decided I'm going to use what I love about the season, incorporate that into the formula of Asylum, and whoosh, there we go, AHS Mortuary. And then, of course, if they ever decide to do this and they're like, oh, Mary, this is great. We'd love for you to be a writer for American Horror Story. I'd say, great. Let's add Debbie to this too. We're going to come up with something fantastic for this next season. Get ready to literally have your socks blown off. That's what I would do. And then I would probably definitely do a follow-up season just entirely on maybe sirens, because AHS has never done that before. There's really just mythology and stories about mermaids, but there's nothing ever really concrete. There's nothing ever in history to show that anything that there ever has been a mermaid. So I will definitely incorporate some real American Horror Stories and mythology into that season. But like I said, that's just my desire for this season, is again to take the stuff that I want for the season and integrate it with the formula for Asylum and present that again to people as something that they would hopefully love. Blaze says you and EJ should start a podcast, right? We totally should. That would be awesome. Blaze says, yes, Debbie, the queen of theories. I know, right? Debbie is so badass. She's given me a lot of theories that I have, credit to her because she is so fantastic. Absolutely. Lizzie says, yes, absolutely. And they promised us sirens. Yes. So that would be my second season. If they would ever allow me to do another season of American Horror Story, would just be focused completely on sirens and having just a few more, elements put in there for good measure. But it'd be focused on sirens because I know how much everybody likes that. Maybe it's like a siren, a lake with mermaids next to an orphanage or something like that. I don't know, but there are so many great ideas that we could do for American Horror Story to incorporate true American Horror Stories into the season. Use it around, like Detective Mark Whalen and his brother Terry are Stephen and Carrie Stainer. However, Stephen Stainer did not live very long, sadly, but as AHS does, they put their own spin on it. And I have Stephen Stainer as Mark still alive and very fiercely protective of his town, wants to, be the best police officer. I mean, he is very stern, very strict, and not very smiley or anything. He is so into protecting his town and the citizens of it. It's all he lives and breathes for. So yeah, like I said, so much of the footwork has been done and I'm really, really excited. I think my favorite episode is going to be episode 6 because that's when Lana Winters comes to Mourning Vale. At this point in 1981, we know for a fact that Lana Winters is working on a show called America Unmasked. It was told to us in Asylum and it's in her lore. If you guys do check it out. Lana Winters was on a show called America Unmasked in the 70s and early 80s. So that fit perfectly because Frank Winters is Lana's half brother. So she's going to go to Frank asking him, look, give me the deets on this town. What's up with this, mermaid, the killer, and, give me the gossip on these people. And so obviously he's not going to, he's going to protect his people and his town, but they are siblings. So there is a lot that's going to be introduced. And actually episode 6 is titled America Unmasked. So I'm so excited to show it to you guys. Lana's only going to be in 3 episodes in the middle section, and then she'll be back for the final episode just to kind of tie things up for her show for America Unmasked. But yeah, there's just so many twists and turns in there. The John Benet Ramsey case is in there, episode 5. That's what that is basically about. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's just, I put so much hard work and effort into this season. I I don't know how they wouldn't love it. So I guess I won't know though until you guys tell me. Let me know again what you think. What works, what doesn't? What do you think about the characters, the plot so far? If you do want a detailed outline and you want to kind of give me a little bit more further feedback, I can definitely prepare that for you and send that to you as well if you would like to kind of know what the general consensus is of the season and how it matches to the scripts and things like that. So anyway, that is my American Horror Story Mortuary. That is what I plan for my season of AHS. If they do it for season 13, oh my God, that would be fantastic. I doubt it, but if I can get it finished in time and solicited to Ryan Murphy Productions, who knows? Who knows? We might actually have another great season of AHS. I'm so excited. Okay. You all are so great for watching this. Again, I sincerely apologize that the live stream was very short today. I have a lot of mom stuff that I need to do. And also my boys are having their guy friends spend the night tonight. So it's going to be such a big, busy household tonight. I will not definitely have time to stream. But tomorrow we are going to watch we are going to talk about Hotel Revue. We're going to talk about that tomorrow night, regular time at 8:00. And my review for episode 2 for Black Mirror season 7, episode 2, Bête Noire on Monday, the Hotel Reverie, whichever is going to be Friday. I am going to pause those podcasts and just start doing it myself because I understand you guys said that you would rather listen to it from me. It takes a lot longer because I have to edit, the actual video and stuff like that. It's easier to do it through the AI. But I heard what you guys said. You would prefer it to be me. So I am going to do that for you guys. And it's like you said, maybe Blaze, maybe I should ask EJ if he wants to come over and let's make a podcast together or something. Yeah. Talk about certain things and maybe we can do it one day on my channel and next day on his or something like that. Absolutely. Well, you guys are the best. I really appreciate everybody for listening to what I had to say about AHS Mortuary, the characters, the synopsis, and everything. I really enjoy, again, the feedback and you guys hearing me out and for what I can do to improve it and make it better because I'm not the best writer in the entire world. I wish I was, but I'm not. And obviously, you're not really a good writer until you can accept criticism from other people to improve your work. And for me, that's what I really appreciate from people is their criticism to improve my work. So again, if any of you would like to read the scripts for AHS Mortuary, I have episode 1 and 2 done actually in script formation. Episode 3, 4, 5, and 6 are not in script formation. They're just in regular word format. So if that's okay, you want to read that I can send that to you as well. It's not a big deal. So again, if anybody wants to read what I've got so far and give me some feedback, I'd really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Again, if you guys enjoyed the video, please like it, subscribe, and do all that other stuff if you would like to support it. Lizzie, I'm going to check out your book on Amazon. I can't wait to read that. I really appreciate you guys again support. I will see you tomorrow night for Black Mirror season 7, episode 3, Hotel Reverie, whatever it's announced, however it's pronounced. You know what I'm talking about. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And tomorrow is Mother's Day. All of you out there who are mothers and maybe dads doing double duty, happy Mother's Day to you all. You are wonderful. Enjoy your weekend. I love you all. Thank you all so much for watching. And of course, beware of our girl, Sexy Scathach. And you better bet your patootie that if I am given a 3rd season of American Horror Story, we're going on Sexy Scathach lore. It's going to be a season of Sexy Scathach. Like the holidays, Sexy Scathach everywhere. Bye, everybody.